Hello and welcome back to Robinsunne Art Studio. My name is Robinsunne. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share this video if you are compelled to do so. I am still working a little bit on my graduate journal for my friend. I've got the covers on. And one of the things I wanted to do for this journal was to make some papers and some cards that were kind of in honor of my friend. And I thought I would sort of walk you through what I've done. I love making my own papers. So first I want to show you a set of cards that I actually made a long time ago, but I still use this process when I'm making cards for journals, like if I get bored of my old cards and want to make some new ones. So the first thing I do is I make a base piece of paper, and this is in my plastic cover thing, but it's just a piece of regular paper, and I take a ruler and I measure 1/2 inch all the way around. You can see, just so I know where to stop, that my printer is gonna not print all the way to the edge. So that's the first thing that I do. And in that line of thinking, I wanted to make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards in this one, and I wanted them to be tags like oh, I can't find one now. Ooh, here's one. That has the angled cuts and has a little place you could put ribbon or string or something. So I wanted them to be this shape. So I divvied up the paper into some little cards and a couple of big cards, and I measured them out. And then I put this all on my light box. So this goes under, and then I put a clean, fresh piece of paper over that, and I design my cards. So this was the design of these cards. There's this lovely big curly Q and sort of a dandelion and some big petal flowers and some skinny petal flowers. Yeah, something sort of approximating a sunflower. So once I have this, and this is just made on paper because it's on the light box and it lets the light through a little better if I work on paper. But then when I've got this done, I put this through my copier on cardstock. And then one of the things that I often do is when I'm making journals, I tend to work in groups of colors, and the blue-purple group is one I use a lot. So I will, this was done in colored pencil, so I'll color the cards. I take a cardstock version of the black and white, and I color the cards, and then I can copy this so I don't have to color it again and again and again, which sometimes is fun, but sometimes it's nice to have the already colored cards. So, in case you're interested, I used Prismacolor colored pencils on this, and these were fun. So, in my graduate book, I also wanted to make some cards. So the first thing I did was I kind of sketched out general sizes. And then I made that, this one. I made one of these 1/4 inch. Did I say 1/2 inch? It's 1/4 inch. Borders all the way around. And I also did this thing where I actually traced out the sizes of the cards that I wanted. And that's in here somewhere. And then on this one, I went on my computer and typed out in a font with serifs, and the letters have little wide parts in them. And I typed out all the things that I wanted. And then I drew it on the light box, and I basically copied the letters, although I did some flourishes and some fooling around with the font. It's not a perfect, I think this was this Bodoni, or I don't think that's the one that it was. I can't remember. But it's a serif font, and it has the little, a serif is those little jubies at the tops and bottoms of letters, and then I think I also put it in bold, but you can see that H has a little depth to it. There's a double line that creates, yeah. So this is a non-serif, and this is up here is serif. So I just drew that out, and then I drew some lines around the edges of all the cards so that I'd know where to cut out. And then that was all done on paper, and then I copied them onto cardstock. And I also thought that it might be kind of fun to print them on colored cardstock. So you will see in my journal to my graduate friend, the colors were all kind of warm. I sort of went with the brown paper color, and I used lots of oranges and reds and warm colors. So I copied onto a couple of yellows and oranges and cut them out and tucked them into the journal. So, and then the last thing I did was I wanted to make a big piece of paper, because there's a lot going on in this graduate journal, and I thought it might be fun for to have some whole pages that can be sort of used as a journal page to tuck into a pocket or something. So I've seen lots of people get these old invoices from haberdasheries and cheese and wine companies and stuff from the 1800s. And they're really pretty. It's just that having words on the page about hats and men's jackets and wine and cheese and stuff wasn't all that interesting to me. It wasn't sort of personally moving or stimulating in any way. So on this, I made up a fake company called the Cornucopia Book Cafe and Market. And I drew a book and a cup of cappuccino and a market basket. And then I made some lines on the front and also on the back for writing. But then instead of saying, like number of wine bottles of various kinds and the prices and all that kind of stuff that's on a normal invoice, I did color and curiosity and feeling and call. Yeah, so it was kind of fun to just make up my own pretend invoice that doesn't really sell any of these things. And then I printed it out on various kinds of off-white colors, and I did this really fun thing, and I want to show you how I did that. Oh, and of course, now we're going to do that. So we take some distress ink and the little dauber, and I wanted to tuck the paper, fold it up and tuck the paper into the journal. And I learned this thing from a journal artist named Luna Rosu. I think that's how you pronounce her name. So the first thing she did was fold up the paper, and one of the secrets of this method is to really make sure these creases are seriously creased. And then okay, so this now, of course, will fit into the book pretty well. But one of the things that this artist does is she learned this technique, and I probably saw this original video a year and a half, 2 years ago. So it's a while back. Anyway, you go around all of the edges, which takes a while because there are lots of folds in here. And so I got that. And then go here and you refold all of these folds that we did. And go around the back side of everything. So you can see this takes a while. And then, of course, you would open the paper and do the whole backside, but you know that. Then there's one more really cool thing that she did. Sometimes when papers are stored for a long time, one of the corners will kind of get bent in a weird way. So this is the cool thing that I learned on this woman's video. Somebody had taught her this, is you make this little fold thing, right? And then you ink that too, and it tends to make this look like it's a really old piece of paper. Sort of silly. Especially because we are celebrating the brand new world of my friend post-graduation. Anyway, so that's the effect that it has. It just makes it look kind of old and like this is full of wisdom. So I may write my letter to my friend on this paper, and then I'll tuck it in the journal before I send it. Ta-da! So there we are. These are my cards and what makes me feel happy. I just thought that these were, what have I accomplished in the last 12 months? This is probably a good card, not so much for the graduate, because we kind of know what people who are graduating have accomplished. Blessings in my life. Some of these cards are pretty wonderful for non-graduates, but what makes me feel happy? I know that when I first left college, I was, a little out in the world, all by myself. So it was kind of easy maybe to get a little low, and I thought, just in case my friend never has a low day, I could give her this card, what makes me feel happy, and she could fill it out on a day where she's feeling great, and then she could remind herself of feeling pretty awesome, because she's awesome. I mean, let's face it. Okie doke. So that's it for today. Well, let's just go with that. May you be blessed with knowing what it is that makes you happy, and may you have this list of information at your beck and call whenever you need it. May we all have a list of what makes us happy at our beck and call whenever we need it. All right, I will see you next time. Bye.